Here's something that surprises almost everyone. In a study from 2025 by two well-known industry groups, LIMRA and Life Happens, younger adults were asked to guess what a basic term life insurance policy would cost. On average, they guessed it was 10 to 12 times more expensive than it actually is. 10 to 12 times. So if you've ever avoided this topic because you assumed life insurance was wildly expensive, or because the words term and whole life made your eyes glaze over, please don't feel bad. You're not behind. You've just been handed two confusing labels with no real explanation. Today, we fix that. Welcome back to MoneyWise Academy, where we turn confusing money topics into simple, practical lessons you can actually use. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what term life insurance and whole life insurance are, how they're different, what they tend to cost, and how everyday people decide which one fits their life. No jargon, no pressure, just a clear picture so you can choose with confidence. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Life insurance, in simple words, is a deal between you and an insurance company. You pay them a regular amount of money, called a premium, and in return, if you pass away while the policy is active, they pay a sum of money, called the death benefit, to the people you choose. Those people are your beneficiaries, usually a spouse, your kids, or anyone who depends on you. And here's a comforting detail. In most cases, that death benefit is paid out to your loved ones income tax-free. Now, there are many flavors of life insurance, but almost all of them grow from two roots: term and whole life. Think of it like this. Term life insurance is like renting a home. Whole life insurance is like buying one. Both give you a roof over your head, both protect your family, but they work very differently and they cost very differently. Let's take term first because it's the simpler of the two. Term life insurance covers you for a set period of time, a term, usually 10, 20, or 30 years. You pick the length. During that window, you pay the same premium every month, and if something happens to you, your family receives the full death benefit. If you outlive the term, which thankfully most people do, the coverage simply ends and you walk away. There's no cash value, no payout for surviving. That's why term is sometimes called pure life insurance. You're paying for protection and nothing else. And because of that, it tends to be very affordable. Whole life insurance is a different animal. It's a type of permanent insurance, which means it's designed to cover you for your entire life, not just a set window, as long as you keep paying the premiums. It has two parts working at once. The first part is the death benefit, just like term. The second part is something called cash value, and this is the piece that trips a lot of people up. So let's slow down. A portion of every whole life premium you pay goes into a savings-like account inside the policy. Over the years, that account, the cash value, slowly grows at a guaranteed rate set by the insurer. As of 2026, that guaranteed growth is often somewhere in the range of 1 to 3.5% a year. Later on, you can borrow against that cash value, or in some cases, withdraw from it. So whole life is doing two jobs at once: protecting your family and slowly building a pot of money inside the policy. That sounds great, and sometimes it is, but all of that extra machinery comes at a price. And that brings us to the part everyone really wants to know about: the cost. Here's where the two truly separate. For the same amount of coverage, whole life insurance typically costs many times more than term, often around 10 times more, and sometimes a good deal more than that. As of 2026, a healthy person in their 30s might pay roughly $25 to $40 a month for a 20-year term policy worth $500,000. A comparable whole life policy, with that same $500,000 in coverage, that can easily run $300, $400, even $500 or $600 a month. Same death benefit, wildly different price. That extra money pays for two things: lifelong coverage that never expires, and the cash value building up inside. So why would anyone choose the pricier option? Good question, and it leads to a famous phrase you'll hear in personal finance: buy term and invest the difference. The idea is simple. Since term is so much cheaper, you could buy a large term policy for the years your family needs it most. Then take the money you save compared to whole life and invest it yourself in something like a retirement account or a low-cost index fund. For a lot of regular families, especially younger ones on a tight budget, that approach gives you a big safety net and lets your money grow separately with more flexibility. On the other hand, whole life can make sense for specific situations, like someone who wants coverage that truly never ends, a person supporting a dependent who'll need help for life, or certain estate planning goals. It's not that one is good and one is evil. They're tools built for different jobs. Let's make this real with a simple example. Meet Sam. Sam is 35, married, with 2 young kids and a mortgage. If Sam passes away, the family still has to pay that mortgage and raise those children. So Sam wants a death benefit big enough to cover it, let's say $500,000. With a 20-year term policy, Sam might pay around $30 a month. That 20-year window is smart because it carries the family through until the kids are grown and the mortgage is mostly paid off. Now, a whole life policy for that same $500,000 might cost Sam around $300 a month instead. That's roughly $270 more every single month. Sam could take that $270 and put it toward retirement, the kids' future education, or paying down debt, while still being fully protected by the term policy. For Sam's situation, term plus investing the difference is a very reasonable path. Someone with different goals might land somewhere else, and that's perfectly fine. Now here's where a lot of people get this wrong, so let's walk through the common mistakes. The first one we already met, assuming life insurance is too expensive to even look into. Remember, people routinely overestimate the cost by 10 times or more. Don't let a guess in your head stop you from getting a real quote. The second mistake is buying a whole life policy you can't comfortably afford for the long haul. Because the premiums are high, some people sign up, struggle with the cost, and let the policy lapse after a few years, which can mean losing much of what they paid in. If you choose whole life, be confident you can keep it going for decades. The third mistake is buying too little coverage. A small policy might feel responsible, but if it wouldn't actually cover your family's real needs, it leaves a gap right where it matters most. And the fourth, treating life insurance mainly as an investment. Its first job is protection. The savings feature of whole life can be a nice bonus for the right person, but it usually grows slowly, so leaning on a policy as your main engine for building wealth often isn't the most efficient route. So what can you actually do this week? Here's a simple, no-pressure plan. Step 1. Figure out roughly how much coverage you'd need. A common starting rule of thumb is about 10 times your annual income, adjusted for your debts, your mortgage, and how many people depend on you. Step 2. Get a few quotes for term life insurance. It's free, it's quick, and seeing the real number usually melts the fear away. Step 3. When you compare, look for a term policy that's convertible. That means you can switch it to permanent coverage later without a new medical exam, which keeps your options open if your life changes. And step 4. If you're genuinely drawn to whole life, talk it through with a licensed insurance agent or a fee-only financial planner who can look at your full picture honestly. And one important note before we wrap up. This video is for education only. It's not personalized financial or insurance advice. Everyone's situation is different, so for decisions about your own coverage, check official, reputable sources or talk with a qualified, licensed professional who can look at your specific needs. Okay, let's quickly recap the 3 things to remember. 1. Term life is temporary, simple, and inexpensive. It's pure protection for a set number of years. 2. Whole life is permanent and builds cash value, but it costs many times more. 3. The right choice depends on your goals and your budget, And for many families, affordable term coverage gets the most important job done. Don't overthink it, and don't let fear of the cost leave you unprotected. If this finally made term versus whole life click for you, go ahead and give it a like. It genuinely helps other beginners find us. And if you'd like to keep building your money confidence one clear lesson at a time, subscribe and come back for the next one. Thank you so much for spending part of your day learning with me. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next lesson.